Hey everybody, welcome back to Durbin's Bourbon. I'm Joe.
And I'm Josh.
Today's bourbon whiskey review is Confiscated, Kentucky Owl Confiscated Bourbon. Comes out of Bardstown.
Sure?
Yeah, comes out of, is it Bardstown?
Yeah, Bardstown.
It was Bardstown. Coming out of Bardstown, Kentucky.
By Kentucky Owl LLC.
Yep, Kentucky Owl Bourbon Whiskey. We have done a review for you all on the Kentucky Owl Rye. It's an 11-year rye. Batch number 1, I believe, is what I was able to obtain. And it is a really, really, really good rye.
Really?
Probably one of my favorite ryes I've ever had. It actually won.
It's pretty spendy, isn't
It's
it?
very spendy, like $126.
Very good.
Actually, it won in a blind shootout, so I know I wasn't picking it because it cost me more than it should. It
Best way to find out
genuinely
what you really
is. Yep, it genuinely is a really good rye whiskey. So anyway, this one stumbled upon this in a Total Wine in Henderson, Nevada. We went down there to visit my awesome in-laws. We had a great time visiting with them, and of course we do hit the liquor stores and we check out what's available. Anytime you travel, you got to see what you can find. I stumbled upon this and
E.H. Taylor.
the E.H. Taylor small batch,
Which we can't get here.
We cannot get here. They had a limit, 1 bottle per day. This was $120 for that Kentucky Owl.
Is it it's got an age statement or anything?
No. 48.2% ABV. It is a good whiskey. They're pulling some of the history. They all have their own little tidbits of history that go along to each one of them. But I just actually was after a good bourbon from Kentucky Owl so I could have it with the rye because I got Kentucky Owl rye. So, you know, when you're a nerd whiskey collector that actually drinks whiskey and doesn't buy them to try and sell or anything later, you kind of try and add stuff to your collection that ties in with the others that you have. So it's an awful expensive habit.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's kind of like you go out there hunting and you find it and you're like, oh my gosh. So it's part of the hunt is the fun.
Yeah.
You hear a dog?
I hear something.
Okay. I do too.
Something like chewing on their foot or something.
Right. It could be a dog.
Is it me processing my wings?
Yeah, we did have a lot of wings, so we're both pretty full of wings.
That's why we look so slim.
I'm quite full, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
This will help. It
does.
Breaks down protein. It's science.
It is. It's scientific fact.
Yes. I read it on the internet somewhere.
We're going to go in for a nose.
Good.
We hope you all are enjoying the show. Hit that like button, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel, and share us with your family and friends. And most of all, I hope y'all are having a drink with us. If you're not, pause the video, go grab yourself a drink, come back, have a seat at the bar with us, and
It's not
watch
like you have
the
anything
show.
else to do.
That is
Everyone's
true.
locked down and
That's true. So on the nose, it is a rye whiskey. It's a rye in the mash bill. It's not a weeded mash bill.
there's a bourbon.
You can smell, but it's a
Yeah.
bourbon, but it's a rye. You know, bourbon, 51% corn minimum,
It's got so
rye
sweet.
and barley. You can smell the rye on the nose right away.
Can you?
I can.
I'm
I
getting
can.
super sweet. Oh yeah.
I can pick
I
up
gotcha.
that rye.
Yep.
But as with all bourbons, corn is the dominant grain
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
bourbons. So you're going to get that corn sweet note because corn imparts so much character to a bourbon. It's really what gives bourbon its classic nose and sweetness because corn is by nature a very sweet grain.
Correct.
Yeah, you can
It's got
smell
the
that
vanillas
corn.
and the caramel.
Everything
It's got a
you
good
would
nose.
everything you would hope you would get in a good bourbon,
And
you pick up with that nose.
It's not like sometimes you smell them and it doesn't have the umph to it. This has like the character and the heat. What's 96?
Yeah, 96.4 proof. So I mean, it's got a little bit of alcohol kick to it.
It's got a good nose.
Let's tell you all a little history from the back of the bottle.
Tell us, Uncle
Maybe
Joe.
we should start talking about this. Confiscated Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey in 1916, just before Prohibition. My family's entire whiskey inventory was seized by the federal government, never to be seen again.
Federal government, man.
Confiscated, probably why the name is where it is. They took it. So, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is a tribute to the vanished barrels of bourbon and to the opportunities lost. Distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Kentucky Owl, LLC, Bardstown, Kentucky. Bardstown, Kentucky is a fantastic little town. We had the fortunate privilege of staying at the Old Talbot Tavern. Great place. Great meal down in the bar, too.
Yeah.
Had some authentic fried chicken. It was fantastic.
They have a huge whiskey bar there.
They do.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, it was a great, great place. Really fun time. Spent a day there or 2 days?
Just one.
1 day there and walked around town. Great place. So it has a fondness in our hearts. The nose is good. Classic bourbon nose, vanillas, caramels, that corn sweetness. Little hint of rye there. So I'm wondering if that rye is going to pop out on the palate or not. We'll roll it around.
We'll see.
Let's go in for a taste, shall we? Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yeah. Boy, there's that rye.
Man, that's good. God, that's good.
There's a secondary sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that corn note. That rye is there. That peppery rye. There you go. Pulling a little Frank.
Mm-hmm.
That peppery rye is there. A little corn.
A lot of sweetness for me.
There is some
got
sweet.
A lot of caramel, brown sugar, and then pepper and alcohol heat for sure. I'm getting that some out of the alcohol heat in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the rye finish. I get a lot of sweetness with that.
How's it? Is it still? Can you still taste the finish? Seemed like the finish
It
was short.
Must be a lot of alcohol. Tongue's a little burny. Yeah, I think it's drying because the
percent,
a little more alcohol.
the proof.
We just did a review of something that was 80 proof.
Yeah.
So that was like, I don't know.
It was very soft and it just disappeared. But it's, there's some alcohol in the back of the tongue and the sides of the tongue. You can feel that ABV, that percentage is in there. I think there's probably a good percentage of rye in this mash bill. It just, I feel
I'm not getting such a high rye that you're getting.
I am. There's some peppery.
I get the pepper.
The corn is kind of dominant. The vanilla and caramel.
I get more rye.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm gonna try some water. Much to my
dismay.
Much to my
dismay.
Dismay. I'm gonna
Beastie
try
Boys
it.
reference for all you people that are old.
Beastie Boys. Is that a band?
Yeah.
They
were rappers.
That's why I wouldn't know who they were.
You know who they are.
I've heard of the Beastie Boys.
You've been singing their songs all the time.
That
wear their shirts.
That y'all know is not true. If anybody that knows me, on the nose, I think it's made it sweeter.
Yeah.
I think
it took. I get no rye on the nose.
I got some caramel.
Yep.
Some brown sugar.
Yep.
Brown sugar actually is pretty strong.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, brown sugar. There's brown sugar, caramel, hint of vanilla, some char from that barrel.
I get a lot of vanilla. You just get a hint, huh?
I get a hint, and we don't know the age statement on this.
It's probably 30 years old or something.
I do not know how old it is.
I would say it
feels
source because it says distilled in Kentucky, but not distilled at Kentucky Owl.
Right.
Bottled.
They might
so
source
they
it.
source it.
It's possible.
Interesting.
It has a unique nose. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's very soft, and it's busy. There's a few things going on. The water did rye.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Daggone it.
The initial's really good. Nice and sweet and soft and caramel and butterscotchy, and then it goes right into rye. Pepper and...
Yep, that is true. It is. It didn't ruin it for me, but I definitely would, for my palate, I don't like water in a high rye mash bill.
I'd say I preferred it without the water as well.
Yeah, I would drink this neat. It is a good sipping whiskey. Proof is good. You get home from a long day and you just want to have a nice, good, solid bourbon to sip on.
Every day?
Pretty much every day. That would fit the bill. Unfortunately, for $120 plus bucks,
right,
that's a pretty expensive wind down the day kind of whiskey.
I would say it's like you said earlier. If you're just if you're a collector like we are, it's something that you want in your collection.
Yeah,
but it's pretty spendy.
Yeah, I don't think.
Cost
wise, I don't think it's worth $120. No, it's not a $120 bottle of whiskey.
I'm glad you bought it because I wouldn't buy it at that price.
But if you stumbled in the
60
store
or 70
and you're collecting and
I
didn't have it, you would have grabbed it. I'd bet money that you're like, 100%. We don't have that in the collection. Bam.
Yeah. And it is, in that respect, it's worth it.
Yes.
If you're, I don't know, if you're just dabbling in whiskey, I wouldn't spend that kind of money on that.
There's a ton of great whiskeys out there for Blanton's, Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. Has a lot of the similar characteristics with the rye mash bill that they use.
That's good though.
But it's a good whiskey.
It's a good whiskey. So it's in that top shelf category. It's just it just seems so much to pay for a bourbon.
It does,
especially without if they had some age statements like 15 years.
Right.
I don't know.
And if you were gonna guess, what would you say? What would you say the age is on that?
6 to 8 years.
I agree 100%.
Somewhere in that range.
I was thinking that. I
it's because it's good. I think that's a good sweet spot for
6 to 10.
Bourbon. Yeah.
I don't think it's any longer than that, but it tastes kind of like a 7-8 year bourbon. If you compare it to like Jim Beam Black, that's an 8-year bourbon, so it has some of those same rye.
I would say that's better than Jim Beam Black, though. We should try it in a shootout some point and see if we really do like it or not. Because sometimes you see the label, you know how much you paid for it.
Yeah.
You want to really like it. I mean, like I said, it's not a bad whiskey by any means. It's just the price point's so high.
And you have that, if you have a good experience altogether, like we were visiting family, and they're awesome, and we enjoy their company, and we were in, on the outskirts of Las Vegas. They did shut Las Vegas down before we left due to this COVID-19, so my wife and I decided we better get home before we couldn't get a flight home, so we did cut our vacation short. We had a rental car, and this rental car was the smallest car I've ever seen in my life. It was
I can imagine you too.
It was a... What was it? What was the car, baby?
Chevy Spark.
It was a Chevy Spark.
Did you have to pedal it?
It was ridiculous. This car was so small.
All right,
it was like a Flintstone
car. Here. We should probably wrap this up.
It was terrible.
We could keep talking and drinking for hours.
That's true.
Imagine if we did a live stream. It'd never stop.
We should.
Dude, it would never stop.
Do a live stream.
Well, if you weren't here, it would never stop.
Right. But I would recommend it. If you can get it and you're a whiskey collector and you want it in your collection, there is another Kentucky Owl out there.
That's the regular bourbon, right?
The regular Wise Man's Bourbon. Oh. Yes. Nope, that's the Wise Man's Bourbon. This is Confiscated. There's another one out there. I can't recall the name.
Similar to the rye, the label, isn't it? Like a green kind of label? It
is kind of. And I'm after that one as well. Yeah. If I can get a hold of it, I will.
Yeah, maybe I'll get that one.
Yeah, I hope you can find it. If you find it, then
that's the thing. Is like I said, I wouldn't pay that, but I would.
Right. You're like, that's the one we don't have.
If he didn't have it, I'd buy it. So.
Yeah, good whiskey.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it. If you can get it for less than that, it's a $50-$60 bottle of bourbon all day long. I think that's good.
For sure.
It's very, very
80.
worth that.
I'd go up to 80. Yeah. I mean, it's good.
80's that'd be a fair price for it. We hope you're enjoying the show. Remember to hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button, share us with your family and friends, help our channel grow. We are on 3 other venues. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, and we have the YouTube.
So 2 other venues.
2 other venues, count this one, it would be 3.
That's all right.
If you're interested in merch, I am wearing one of our t-shirts from Teespring. If you go to the Facebook page, I've put it at the top of the page. It kind of always hovers up there on the top of the feeds. You can shop around, see if there's anything you'd like. Any proceeds we get from our merch sales goes back into running the show and buying product and or equipment that we need to upgrade, because we've been using the same equipment for quite a few years now, and the mics are broken. Things are starting to fall apart, so help us.
A lot of electrical tape.
Help us bring a more quality show to you, the subscriber. That's about it for this one.
It's good whiskey.
Yeah, it is.
If you can try it even in a whiskey bar or something. It's a good pour.
Oh yeah.
Probably pricey though for a pour.
Might be. I'd expect them to charge $25-$30 for a ounce and a half pour. If you're in a good bar and they're feeling pretty generous, a 2-ounce pour, but typically they're an ounce and a half.
Right. Of course, no one's going to bars at the moment, so
that's true.
Good luck with that.
Good luck. As always, enjoy your whiskeys and bourbons any way you like. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.